Good evening. I have two questions first. And the first question, anyone here doesn't understand Chinese? It's okay. And the second question I have asked in Chinese. 在这里有谁不会听英文的 ？Or just one person? Or maybe, 那个海乐说是啊，你还是有工作要做，要翻译的。对。那如果谁觉得英文或许听得不太清楚的 ，Sorry, I have to speak Chinese first. 不太清楚的，请拿那个翻译机嘛，是不是啊？一个耳机。你试一试看能不能他们听不听得到？你们听得到吗？请举一下手。你有耳机吗？谁要耳机的麻烦那个中文的 ，just asking who need a Chinese translation, you know. Okay, right. Venerable sirs and our Upasaka, Upasika, and some who never take a refuge. I usually call that as like maybe friends. Anyway, good evening. It's a little bit nice, I would say, that I'll be back here to teach this force and abiding meditation here. And I can recognize some of the people I met even when I was the abbot here maybe 2 years ago. I mean, actually I started to become abbot here 2008, but then I left here 2015, so it's almost 2 years now. So I recognize some faces actually. Good to see you here again. Okay. All right, let me back to our subject matter of this meditation technique called Brahma Vihara, or sometimes we also call it as the Abrahmana, Citta, or Bhavana. Okay. So sometimes we translate it in English as the Brahmavihara or Brahma Vihara, or you could understand as like what we call the sublime abode. Or you could understand it's almost like live like a god, something like that. Okay, because in the old day the word Brahma means the god, or it's a kind of created god they believe. Okay. And other name is called it as the immeasurable mind, or four immeasurable mind. So you must at least remember when you come to do meditation, what kind of method you are learning. You are learning, either you call that as the sublime abiding, or you could call that as the immeasurable mind, meditation on the immeasurable mind. Okay. First, you know that traditionally, someone, when they learn Buddhist teaching, they will go to take the refuge. I'm going to explain that tomorrow a little bit. But I'd like to address something. When you take the refuge, you have to take the refuge to the Buddha. You could see the statue just behind. And then you take the refuge to the Dharma. And then you also take the refuge to the Sangha. Okay? So you never just take one refuge. Just like people when they come to study Buddhism or learn something from the Buddhism or from the Buddha will never say, just take the refuge to me. Nothing is important. Just listen to, kind of like, you just believe in me, you're safe. It never be like that. It's always been, I would say, introduced or encouraged to understand you have to not just believe in there was somebody like a Buddha who attend enlightenment like a Buddha, also, or someone who are really rare the chance that the Buddha will appear in the world. Otherwise, we will have no this temple, we won't be able to sit in here to learn something. But very important also, that you will learn the Buddha's teachings. And not only just the Buddha teaching, but then you also will have to learn there is a sense of community. The community here referred to refuge mean that people, any of you, either monks, nuns, layperson, laywoman, layman, is equally could attend, become a saint. Okay? This is meant by taking the true refuge. This is why it's important, because taking the true refuge means I have to surrender myself, but I also take the Buddha as my lead, a place that when there's a suffering, I could really account for, a person or a spirit, that means the Buddha, that you can account for. Or, and not that as I say, that would not contain as the real Buddhism. The real Buddhism also including that when you have suffering, you can take the Dharma as something you can account for. The same thing as to the community. The Sani community means you believe that, and then you know, or maybe by knowing, by understand that persons, either lay person or the monastic persons, they could be descent, like the past. That you have descent like a Sariputta, you have descent like the Moggallana, you have descent like the Visakha as a woman, you have descent like Upali as a man, So they can be descent. This is meant by taking the true refuge. Now, I need to address the Dharma now. So what does it mean by taking the refuge to the Dharma? Now, you need to really take it that into something not like superficially. Just like the faith to the Buddha or the faith to the community, that has to be really become not just superficially. It is deep into your heart. Okay. The same thing now. Why? Now, when you take the refuge to the Dharma, what it is Dharma? What does the Dharma mean? We always understand, of course, in the Buddhism, usually when we say the Dharma, we are first recall that is the Triple Gem. Then there's a Dharma. And there's a very famous sentence for that. Even when, as I just mentioned, a woman, now in America, because women's rights are very powerful, so I need to talk more women. Don't feel that I neglect the man, okay? Especially I'm a woman, I'm a man, sorry, I'm not a woman. Especially I'm a man, I need to really so give some more, respect to the woman. So like the Visakha, it's very famous, a woman as a lay person, a very Greek donor, and a Greek practitioner. Not that she married to a very wealthy man, and also she, at the time, she was really powerful. She could define her, what you call, father-in-law. I think I need to wait. You have questions? 那海律师，如果有回音哦。 你坐在那边会吵到人家。不，你先解决那个问题，好看怎么样 ？Because the translator could not hear me well. Can you hear me well? Because there's an echo, right? And I speak too fast. That my bad habit as a Cantonese. You need to tell me. Oh. All right. Now, the word Dharma is really complicated. 就是中文叫法。In different contexts, the word Dharma can have they carry different meanings. In certain context, the Dharma can be understood. Is it still doing? I'm waiting, sorry. I thought it's done. It's okay? All right. Now, I want to say that the word Dharma is they have many translations of the word Dharma, or Dharma in Pali, Dharma in Sanskrit. Okay? In a different religion, or you could say different tradition, or the religions in India, might sometimes take the word Dharma differently. Okay? Now, since you are in Buddhist temple now, or you are studying the Buddhist tradition, so you need to kind of more understand how the Buddhists look at the word Dharma, okay? Otherwise, just like in the past, like this year when I went to Taiwan, I give almost 6 days talk of a text called the Yogacara Bhumi Sastra. Anyway, it's a Sanskrit word. In Chinese, 就叫一切四谛论. When I give the talk of this Yogacara Bhumi Sastra, because the word begins with the yoga, right? And a lot of people thought, I'm going to teach 6-day yoga in the American way. So people carry this mattress, yoga, mattress, and when they arrive, they found, what? We have just studied the text with a lot of Chinese words, which they know every word, but they don't know what does it talk about, okay? But anyway, they said, they think that they came to the wrong place. But however, they still stick to stay and see what I'm talking about. The same thing, the word yoga in Indian, the original meaning, or even in a Buddhist perspective, can be very different from what Americans think the yoga means, okay? If you tell people I'm going to practice yoga, in the Buddhist way mean you practice your meditation. But in the America, you know what I mean, you stretch here and there, you could bend your body, you could, whatever, You could just move your body like a snake, or the zebra or elephant, whatever. So, but the same thing, sometimes when you understand the word Dharma, you please understand in what the Buddhist context mean, okay? Well, the word Dharma, of course, literally translate as that's something you can hold on. Not literally translate. That's how the commentary usually explain, that you're something you can hold. But if you look at the word in the Buddhist understanding, the word Dharma or Dhamma, actually it directly means something that reliable, okay? Or you could understand something that that it means something that reliable. You could understand as reliable thing. But this reliable thing doesn't mean what does mean by, when you have the faith or when you have taken refuge to something reliable, of course, it opens up a lot of questions too. What kind of things are reliable? Now, when I say here reliable, I do not take it as the English mean, this is reliable, this is not reliable. It is always believed that when this is a Dharma, mean it is something reliable. For example, now when we say, if you have a love mind, it always give you a good feedback, a good result. This is called the Dharma. Okay, now, sometimes you can understand this as mean this is called the teaching. But if you really understand actually the meaning mean, it is something, it is true, it is something reliable, it is something really as a fact. Okay. So, of course, but of course, even among the Buddhist tradition, whether when you have the love mind to someone, like you have loving kindness mind to someone, that will be benefit to you and to the other. Is this someone reliable? Is it a fact? It is true? It is a truth? But of course, it can open up to discussion. Okay? You can question. But I'm not here to that's the reason why open up to discussion, open up to the question. That's why in the commentary have so many systems. We started to talk about what is reliable thing. Can it be 了义跟不了义 in Chinese? 了义不了义. It means can it be perfectly described? Kind of descriptional is the perfectly descriptional or imperfectly description. You know, when you say a sentence, sometimes the sentence can be perfectly described. Sometimes the sentence is not perfectly described. It has to be explained like that. That all even in the topic of the Dharma. Okay. Understand? No. It means sometimes when you say reliable thing, or sometimes it's the truth, and whether the utterance of the truth can be, do you need further explanation or without the further explanation? Okay. That's how then the Buddhist teachings in the commentary, or you could say that a little later Buddhist tradition started to have a lot of big discussion. Okay, you may be wondering what it is to do with our meditation. Because you are coming to do meditation, it means you're coming to see the Dharma. Or you could say you're coming to experience, you're coming to really directly contact, understand what it is reliable thing. Of course, you can be questioned later. This is not something reliable. This is not something the truth. This is not something is really there. You can question that, but do understand. That's what we say. You could say you're coming to practice Dharma, right? Understand? So you're coming to experience Dharma. You're not here like, I'm doing a ritual, something and nothing to do with the teachings. No, you are doing something directly from the Buddha's teaching. I want to go further. I mean, don't understand when you come to practice as under the Buddhist teaching mean, oh, Buddha teaching is here and I'm doing my practice. No, you actually coming to practice the Buddha's teachings, or something that you need to take it into yourself as something you could see whether it's something true or not true. Okay? Get it now? So this is meant by the Dharma. And when you take the refuge, and the refuge always say this way, right? Swakato Dhammo, Sanditiko, Akaliko, Ehipasiko, Opanayiko, Pachatang, Vedidapo, Vinyuhidi. Okay? That actually, the Visakha, so she was as the very devoted woman practitioner. So she always uttered that. And actually it's believed that when she always uttered that, it will make her to understand the importance of the Buddha teachings. In other words, mean directly. Now I like to translate what does it mean. Swakato Bhagavato Dhammo mean the teachings, or you could say, I like to say the truth. The truth is well expounded by the Buddha, okay? And then Swakato Bhagavato Dhammo Santitiko mean, and that is the direct visible to you. Okay. Now you could take that visible word as kind of abstract, mean you can directly see it. Okay. That's called Santitiko. Akaliko, and you can translate that as immediately. It's not like, oh, I believe something, let me wait when I die. You don't know whether he's there, but you die already. You have no way to come in to tell, don't believe that because it's not true, but you die. But this is not like that. It is something you can experience, see directly. So that's why it's called akaliko, ehipasiko, okay? And it's not just because I can do it, I can see it. I can see it right now. It is also something that you could invite people to see. It is true. Okay. Akaliko, ehipasiko, openaiko. Now, openaiko have two ways of understanding. One way you can understand it mean what you have learned, it will lead you. You know, the experience, what experience, it's not stopped there. It will lead you to see something further, okay? Or it would guide you all the time. And some other understanding is openaiko can be understood mean applicable. It is something actually you could use it all the time. I guess one refer to, you can actually, what you have in the teaching, the truth, it's always guiding you, as almost like carry you to see further, better. All other you just understand is something, the truth that in you, that it's always applied to your life, okay? You got it now? So this is what we call, we take the refuge, mean the teachings, or the truth in such a way. And the last one, Pachatan Veditapo Vinyu Hidi. It means every individual that who are wise, please remember the word wise, okay? Every individual who are wise, you know, will experience, you know, in other words mean, who are the wise person, they actually will love it, will want it, okay? Or they could actually experience it, or they can be attending, okay? Right, basically, why I want to say that? Because when you come to learn the Brahma Vihara, or the force of line abiding meditation, it is as one of the Dharma. What kind of Dharma? Metta, or Maitreya in Sanskrit, Metta in Pali. In English, we usually translate loving kindness. But I like to just translate love because I don't want to speak more word, loving kindness, right? So it's just a translation. Just remember, when I say love, I don't ask you, we are not here to teach you how to love that woman and woman how to love the man and so forth, okay? But that is one word called metta or maitreya. You know, someone saw, I know when I was in England, as I know, everybody asked me, they asked me, why do you have two kinds of Buddha? And I was always wondering, why do you ask me these two kinds of Buddha? They say, you know, you saw the lean Buddha and you saw the fat Buddha. You know, I'm sure in America you'll see, especially in the shops, if you go to a restaurant or even some, you know, Chinese gift shop, you always see the little fat Buddha. So that fat Buddha is what we believe in the future Buddha. I mean, the next one will come to this earth, okay, become the Buddha. And his name is called Maitreya. It means, Maitreya means love, loving kindness. That's his name. So for the sake of honorary, just the honorary way, we call them as the Maitreya Buddha. Well, to be more precise, you should not call him Maitreya Buddha, you should call him Maitreya Bodhisattva, okay? 就是弥勒菩萨，而不是弥勒佛。But you know, it just become a general term now. In English, you just say that as the Maitreya Buddha. Now, I want to say that means this love, okay? Now, that's one of the Dharma. You need to learn how to experience it. And how to, I'm going to say a lot later. Firstly, you must learn to recognize what it is. Okay? And the second Dharma, the second truth that you could see directly. Remember what I just said, you take a refuge to the Dharma. And this Dharma The second Dharma that you can see right now here, that will lead you to the future life, or that you can apply to anything that you live, is what we call compassion, right? All right. Now, especially if you're Chinese, please understand the word compassion in Chinese as the 悲. Even I did see some translation. They translate this compassion as pity. Okay, pity. You have pity for people. No, it doesn't take that way. And unfortunately, even sometimes the word, even old day, when I say old day, it means some earlier translation, especially they don't learn Sanskrit and Pali, they only based on the Chinese. The word 悲, they translate that as mean sadness, sad, okay? Now, if you look at the original word as Pali or Sanskrit, what is the word? Karuna, right? Karuna had nothing to do with the sadness. So in other words, do not practice compassion meditation as a sadness meditation, okay? Get it now? There were the time, I don't want to say the name, in one country, someone as a nun were very famous. It's believed that she had the great compassion. How? Every time she talked, everybody was melted the mind. And they think that she has the great compassion. So if that was the case, the Buddha was always crying. Do you think the Buddha is crying? Huh? Come on, give me some feedback. You could challenge me now. Do you think the Buddha always see, oh, how suffering your life is? So, do you think that is? No. The Buddha does not have a sadness. The Buddha has compassion. Okay? In English, it's very easy, compassion. But the Chinese, please do not take the word compassion in Chinese. I'm saying now, 悲 as a 悲哀. 悲心 in the Chinese is karunami, just compassion. Okay? In English, it's easier to settle, I know. It's the language, for the language thing. The third kind of the Dharma that can contain you, or something kind of reliable to you, is the joy. Okay? And this kind of joy you will practice in later, in this retreat. The joy, so the word is called, what is that word? Huh? Yes, mudita. No, not sukha. The word is mudita. Please, this word 喜, 慈悲喜 的喜 in Chinese, it's not pretty, not sukha, but it's called mudita. Why? Because this kind of joy is always different from the other kind of happiness, because you always get this joy from appreciate other people's success. Okay? All right? Understand? That's one reason why I tell people, if you are very serious about studying Buddhism, and now the world is changing now, that the internet is so convenient, right? There's a bad thing there, but there's a good thing there. It's always wisely choose. Look at the original word. Do not really believe that, oh, this is how I learn. No. Investigate, check it, because it's very important. This joy comes from where? It's the joy, they call it mudita. They are not using other word, pity or what? Because this joy is always come from you feel appreciate or whatever, that you could feel other people's success, happy, and that's how you get this joy. Okay? Can you differentiate the difference? Okay. So this is what the third kind of the truth, the Dharma, you have to, what we call, is well taught by the Buddha, and it is what we call is timeless, or you could say immediately you could see it. Okay? Do you think this is, you need to die before your virtual die to see, do I have a joy? Do I have mudita? Do I have a loving kindness? Do I have the compassion? No. You could see, if you know it's there, you could really feel it first. When I say see, mean it's almost like you could really see it there. Okay? Any other question? Number 4. Now you also have to learn the last one of the Dharma, which is very important as well, which later either you practice anything has to do with him too. That is what we call the Upekkha, or Upeksha in Sanskrit. Upekkha in Pali. It means equanimity. I will go and explain that later more when we learn that. Now, this is the reason why you're here. When you take the refuge, like early morning in the Buddhist tradition, you know, that Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, say, this is not a ritual. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, why I'm not rich? Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, why I have not attained Buddha yet? Sanghan Saranang Gacchami, what the hell, you know, or what the heck? No, you have to understand. When you say the Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, means I take the refuge to the Dhamma. It's reminding you all the time, you have to take the Buddha's teaching or the truth as the only one that will save you. Right? Okay. For example, the other question you may ask, okay, I get what you mean, but why I'm still here? I don't know actually, I don't know why you're here. I will ask you later, don't worry. But let me just say my version of why you're here. Okay. Maybe you have a question, maybe you don't believe, maybe you don't really agree with me, it's all right. But since unfortunately I sit here, okay, I would be the first person to speak first. Why you're here? Why you want to learn this? Because Joining Monastery is beautiful, or because Dhammadippa, I don't know. I should come. If I don't come, he will be angry with me. Whatever, okay. Why you're here? Let me just say my version. And a lot of people even ask me, why don't you teach other method? The mindfulness of breathing. I can teach 2 days or 3 days. I usually don't have 1 week or 10 days, you know. And people find even 2 days, 1 day, they feel a lot of benefit. Why don't you keep a long time? And why you still teach this? Some people even told me that, I don't want to learn this because this is bad. Why is bad? They learn this, you become attached to the human. We must learn how to detach from the human. I have been hearing this many, many times. And the funny part is, not because they say, I thought the same way when I was just newly become a monk. When I newly become a monk, of course, traditionally, you learn mindfulness of breathing. After some times, and the teacher say, you know, you look like a lot of anger. You're not a very cheerful person. You should learn the loving kindness. That time, people tell me the loving kindness. I didn't understand what is meant by loving kindness. I never heard this word because English was not my first language. Okay. And he explained, you need to meditate and sit to think, may I be happy. I was crazy. You know, because what it is. And later on, you know, there was a guy who helped me to translate sometime. And then the monk actually, he's a lay person, guy. And when he translated from my first master, I won't say first, the second master, the old monk. And then actually from Midigara, when I was in Midigara. So, and then he was from the old monk, he was 89 years old, something like that. So, and then I didn't understand. It took me about almost 1 week to understand. Oh, actually you were talking about 修这个慈心. Of course, I don't know what are they. And I never knew that this can be a meditation. Because love or loving kindness, all the time you talk, you should have this, in Chinese, 慈悲嘛, you should have this loving kindness and compassion to help that person, you know. So you just thought this is like a word, a kind of concept. You know, you would never thought that was meditation. It was very hard for me. Anyway, because I was under that place, I need to serve my duty. My duty is just to finish this meditation. I can get rid of it. Because I always tell people, after when I meditate that, I do feel happy, I do feel nice, I do feel the power of it. Somehow my stubborn concepting, this is too sissy. It's too woman kind of thing. A man should, as a monk, should be, who are you? No. Can you be really friendly? Then when I finish, I was so happy. I can move on. I need to put that away. And actually, I'm a very hot temper even now. But in the past, I was much worse. I was always very lazy. When I want to, because I'm lazy, but of course I always still quite, the good way is I still always try to, how to say, try my effort too. You know, because you usually do the thing in the last minute, try effort. You know what happened? Frustration comes to you, right? And this is why I'm always nice, but don't wait until the last minute there. I get frustrated, in the worst case. Don't think that because I'm a monk and very elegant, and something when I so get angry in the past, I can be really true to thing. Of course, not in front of you, just by myself. And I still forget. When I have this full Dharma, I won't have this reaction. And my conceptually still think, what? My conceptually still think this is sissy. Don't you think it's funny? Why I want to mention this to you? It's, sometimes when you practice, you will find, people will tell you a lot of this. This is useless. This is not liberation. This is not enlightenment. This is whatever. And you think, yeah, it's true. I want to show I'm an enlightened person. Look at these people when they're chasing after enlightenment. I don't want to speak too much. I don't want to be attacked later on. Because my compassion is not big enough. When people attack me, I will get agitated too. Okay? This is my bad karma. Why? Because I forgot the Dharma. I want to add whatever I am is all right, one thing. But I want to tell you, when you have this full kind of this Dharma in you, this agitation, this anger, this what we call the unsatisfactory, you know, or what we call or the pessimistic kind of view will dissipate it by itself. Dissipated, am I right? I mean, it will disappear by itself. When you have holding this one, Dharma have the meaning holding too, right? When you're holding this, then this will just dissolve by itself. Now, in other words, I want to remind you, my version of understanding, you are not here, even though they will give you this benefit. You are not here to tell people, I meditate this, I have the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you can have it. This is not the main point. You are not here for competition. Okay? You are learning this fine, but the main point is the very important. You are coming here because you must learn how to contain this full kind of thing so that you have a better way, or I would say from the Buddha say, could say, almost the best way that resolve your anger issue. Don't twist it, please, as learning this, you will learn to attach to human being. Did the Buddha ever say that? Any? We have monks here, nuns here. Tell me, any Buddhist text tell you that? Because you learn, you have this full, immeasurable mind. You then become attached to human. And you're bad. You're bad. It will cannot lead you to enlightenment. Any? Actually, the Buddhist texts always say, when you have this kind of Dharma, the good quality, it helps you to relieve, understand what? Understand the possibility of relieving yourself from one of the big factors, at least one. There are many more than that, your anger. We know that in Buddhist teaching, we need to solve some problem that believe when someone become a Buddha, become Arahant, complete like a powerful saint, 3 things will be cut off, right? What we call the 3 poisons. One is a poison, what is that? The craving, right? And the second poison, anger. The poison, delusion, right? And a lot of people think, like when I was young, that time I was just actually 22 years old. When I was young, I really didn't like it. And I don't want it. I learned it. I put it aside. It almost like never exists in my mind until my life facing 1 problem, 2 problems, 3 problems, 4 problems. And especially, unfortunately, you are not living under your parents. You're living independently. You need to how to please people, and most important, how to please yourself. Now, the problem comes. I try to understand everything is anicca, impermanent. It's okay. But that kind of understanding, I still feel something not right without this beautiful thing. What is it not right? I feel I become callous. Callous, right? I feel I become not as a being. I become a rock-hard person. And then I become more proud because I always think I'm right. I don't want to listen to people because by listening to you guys, I get impatient. What it is impatient is mean anger. I don't feel happy. I just feel like uneasy. And that carried me because I thought I know better. At least I thought I would have a better practice. And also because I wear the robes. In Chinese tradition, always tell you, when you wear the robes, you are the big teacher. I don't know how also Theravada say. I never heard this word in Theravada. Maybe they can tell me because they are in the Theravada country longer than me. But on the contrary, what I only learn from the sutra, we wear the robe. We need to learn how to be more humble. We only can be lower ourselves, try to listen to what the people are. Then who get the benefit? Who? I get the benefit. Right? Because I can hear different voice. Then I could make, almost like internet nowadays, you get more information, some bad information, some good information. Then this is how you have the really ability to choose what we call, if everybody understands, there were 7 factors of enlightenment, 就是七觉知 in Chinese. So one of these factors of enlightenment is that you are able, we translate as a discriminate. Okay, retain the same word, that you could able to discriminate, or you be able to choosing, maybe best word to say, you can able to decide or decipher, or maybe best the word decipher, you are able to decipher what that truth is about, or what is not the truth, what is the truth. Right? And because when I wear a robe, people can tell me everything. Am I right? Because at least they know I'm not going to seduce your guy or seduce your woman, whatever, you know. It's because I wear the robe, means I'm willing to listen. Right? And of course, and another way I could say I'm willing to keep the promise that I'm not going to tell anybody. You know, this is the basic morality we have, that having the robe. Not having the robe showing I'm the best. Okay. All right. We understand that now. This is my version. You're here, yes, you will say, no, what I'm doing here, you will learn how to meditate, to get this fact in you. That is the love, the compassion, the sympathetic joy or empathic joy, something they call that, and the equanimity. You have to get the fact. And you also let this Dharma hold it. This Dharma means something that have the holding. You need to able to sustain it. And you must be able, just by sustaining it, you see, when you sustain this good thing, what it give it to you. Okay? And then, is it true, as the Buddha said, when I'm sustaining this full kind of good thing in me, my anger will be dissipated. You need to investigate. You see right there. If you say, no, it's not true, fine. You need to examine and see. Then you can deny it afterward, but it's fine. But you definitely need to be able. This is what we call the Dharma. The Buddha's teachings must have this good quality that you'll be able to do this. Okay? It's not something I had to wait. No, you could see right there. And everybody can do it. Okay? It's not like I'm Dhammadeva. Only me have it. You guys always, I don't know what to call, always just get a little bit of it, you know. No. The Dharma is always equally, how to say, what's the word? I want to say equally, everyone can have it. Yeah. Equally achieved, what do you say the word? Yeah. And you can be even better than me. Don't say that because Dhammadeva sitting here, I definitely will be better than you. Don't, no. Because maybe later on you are going to smash me, you know. I may get angry. That condition make me that get angry and I don't hold the Dharma. And I only, without the correct mind, what we call manasikara in Pali, if I do not have the correct mind to think rather than this Dharma, but I would take this adharma, unwholesome thing, take that unwholesome thing in me, then I will get angry. Okay? No. So you are learning teachings. You are learning Dharma. You are learning something reliable, at least from Buddha's perspective, or the truth. And you must cherish that, not because you see me here. Okay? Do you get the difference? And do not think that Dhammadeva is always better than me. I could be no. Somebody suddenly stole my money, I maybe get very angry. Anxiety comes to me. Okay. Maybe when I get anxiety, you actually have the Dharma. Right? And this is also why you can discern, Dhammadeva lost his mindfulness. Lost his the power of discerning the correct Dhamma that lead him to become enlightenment. That would be Bojjhanga. Okay? Paccavekkhana Bojjhanga, one kind of enlightenment factors. This is, that's why you live in the truth, you live in the teaching there itself, okay? All right, I don't want to speak too much. We need a little break, and then we just, for the first session, I'm not going to do the loving kindness. Take that, if you never learned this before, take this as a myth for tomorrow. Like a little kid, the story is almost here, and then an advertisement come on to be continued tomorrow, okay? And still, I have obliged to say, as my version, as I say, the main thing, very important in your life. Don't tell me anymore in the future. Learning this will make you to attached, okay? No. You must understand the main purpose you want to have this in you, as if you're those who are Buddhists taking a refuge, those who are not Buddhists at least believe this truth maybe can be you need to investigate now, have it now, then you must understand that will always help you to be kick away your anger. Okay? For example, you need to later on able to build up that this actually, the four Dharma will actually giving you the, the truth. You can see that can carry with you all the time, okay? I will explain that a little more later, okay? Before that, I still like to know any question first, what I said. You know why I want to ask this question? Because I want to hear. It's also the way to understand whether you understand what I was talking about or not. Yes. The first three portions, traditionally would say the craving. Craving is the first one, craving, yeah. Any other? Yes. When you feel the sensation of anger, you mean you're talking about me? Yes, that in Buddhism still belongs to the anger. That is also anger. That is also is anger. Yeah, but you say that I don't want to feel that way. Actually, you get anger with what you are feeling. Right, yeah. But I'm sure that you have the experience like when suddenly you got $1 billion. Somebody sent you a letter say you inherited $1 billion, $1 billion, and somebody just scold you, you just smile. Right? You don't care. Well, so what? Even if you scold me, I have $1 billion. I got something really nice. Whatever you scold me, you have a. Am I right? It's all right, no problem, yeah. Well, maybe best to say that, I will explain a little later, more detail. Best to say that it is the Dharma here, the teaching mean, when someone have the love, certainly the anger is not there, right? When you have the love, even say that you saw a little baby, really nice, you have a baby, for example. You're so happy. And the baby pee on you, what do you feel? Right? The love feeling do not anger. But when you have a bad mood, you just have, let's say, in the working, and then your boss just say, you're fired, and you come back, and you get angry. You saw the baby pee on you, what do you feel? But of course, I don't think you want to throw the baby away. But at least you might be wondering, but then you stop, oh, this is my love baby. It's my baby. Of course, you stop. That love replaces your anger quickly. Okay, yes. If me, I will be angry. But idealistically, if you are Buddhist, even though we cannot do it, the value of Buddhism, you must understand, the best, you can stop him without anger. That's the value of Buddhism. No, when you learn Buddhism, you must know what's the main value. This is not something you believe, but as I say, this is Dharma. It's a teaching. You must learn that stop that person without anger. And even that's what I try to do. As I always, that's one reason why you practice. You spend 5 days here, 6 days here, you could understand somehow like you learn how to manage your anger. But we do not talk it that way. We talk it because by just manage your anger is not enough to contain the real Buddhist teaching. The real Buddhist teaching I just trying to explain, at least I try to give the meaning. You need to, if you're a Buddhist especially, it means you need to learn how to contain the teaching, right? And in order to, you need to learn meditation or contain the teaching become a wonderful thing in you. Then you might be want to stop the person by compassion, right? You can stop the person by loving kindness. But for example, I don't mean that I could do it immediately, but I'm sure if I'm doing 7-day meditation here, I could do it. But when my mind was not mindful enough, I might not. But I want to say, still whether I can do it or not, it's not a question. When you learn teaching, this is a very important value in Buddhism. Unless you disagree, right? You could argue, disagree. If you agree, you must try to stop that person by having a compassion. You're not anger. Like, for example, sometimes those who've been a father, and I've never been a father and mother, but I never been not this life. But at least I look after students and that. Sometimes, it's much easier to talk about if you have parents. When the kids were naughty, maybe hit the other guy, right? You stop it. Sometimes, of course, you get angry because you're thinking about, I lose my face. Then you get angry. But when you have a compassion and love mind, you just stop it like, don't hurt that. No. You actually with the love to stop the thing happen. You're not angry, right? And you feel nice also. You don't feel like, of course, some people may stop at that, and later on they think, anybody's look at it, my child is like that. So maybe it would be later on. That's another thing. But I want to say that, you do have in your life. You are learning something, the teachings. Do not think that you want to learn the teachings out of the world. The Buddha always say, all the teachings, all the Dharma, can be experienced, can be felt by you. There's nothing in the world called the Dharma or out of it, out of something that you could feel it. Okay. Yes. Anything that you can say that as the teachings or the Dharma, that you cannot feel it, you cannot see it. Yeah. Okay, why don't we take a break? And we're supposed, I'm sure that you're very delighted to see me here. I think I don't want you guys sit too long and you suffer the first day and tonight you run away. Okay. And if you really have that happen tomorrow, you want to run away, come to see me first. Do not think that I'm trying to pursue you to stay because of me. No. I just will just try to see what is best for you. But if you think the best for you is to really run away, all right, run away, okay. But at least give me a chance to explain, okay. Right. And yeah, take a little break. At least come back here by 10 minutes. We have 15 minutes. Just sit there idly, whatever you like to do. Okay. And then I need to follow the rule at 9 o'clock. Then have a good night, sleep, and I'm going to see you tomorrow, 5:30. Okay. So yeah, take a 10 minutes break. Thank you for your listening also.